That's the big unknown. I think that's your question, because once the Ukrainian army is destroyed, how do we bring about not only a resolution to the political problems in Ukraine, but also the political problems that exist between NATO, Russia, the United States, and Russia? And that's going to take more time. There's a lot of healing that has to take place. There's a lot of, you know, the United States and NATO are going to have to do some deep reflection on what they have done. And unless they're willing to acknowledge that they have made mistakes, and when was the last time you heard an American president or somebody say, "Oh, we made a mistake"? You don't get reelected by saying, "I made a mistake." You get reelected by fooling the people into thinking that what you did was the right thing. We might have to have some sort of Richard Nixon type moment. If you recall back in 1973, peace with honor. We're getting out of Vietnam. We won, peace with honor. Dude, we got beat. We're running away from this fight, but no, peace with honor. So, and who's smart? The Russians are smart. And I think the Russians are going to give the West an opportunity to have a peace with honor moment where they get to save face and somehow walk away with this saying, yeah, we did okay, instead of running away with your tail between your legs. But how that happens, I don't know, because there are so many problems that have become manifest because of this conflict. My God, are we really relying on the compassion and humanity of the Russians to solve this problem, a problem they didn't start? Because that's what we're saying here. We're saying that Russia has to create an opportunity for the United States and NATO to save face. Could you imagine the United States and NATO, if the roles were reversed, giving Russia a chance to save face? No, we crush them. We put our foot on their throat. We grind it in. That's what we do. But here, there's a recognition that Russia's going to have to save the day. And, that's I know that's anathema to most Americans because they've been taught that Vladimir Putin, of course, is Voldemort, the manifestation of evil, the ultimate expression of evil in the world today. The most horrible man on the face of the earth, the brutal dictator who leads a nation of robotic automatons who have no heart, no compassion. Those Russians, you've seen their faces, the stoic faces of the Russians, evil people who just want to kill you. Don't look at the girls. Don't look at the girls. They're pretty. And no, don't look at the girls. Look at the guys. Guys, girls, very pretty. Confusing them Russians. Beautiful women, ugly men. What the hell? But I'm being facetious right here because my point is I've met the Russians. I know the Russians. And they're just like you and me. They are literally just like you and me. I can guarantee you, both Rashids, that I could take you right now, put you on an airplane, fly you to Russia, and put you in the average Russian household, and you would fall in love instantly because they are the nicest people in the world. They got, I can't use bad words here, but they got people that are like me, jerks, idiots. I've heard what people call me. I get it. I know I am, but not everybody's like me. There are actually nice people out in the world there who care about other people and want to do good things. And many of them happen to be Russians. There's Maria Zakharova is the spokesperson of the, don't look at her, pretty Russian girl, can't do that. You got to look at the guys, they're ugly. But Maria gave a presentation the other day where she was chastising the Germans for doing the unthinkable, allowing German tanks to go to Ukraine to kill Russians. Not like that didn't work out the last time. But she talked about her grandmother. And it was a very touching speech. And it's made more touching by the fact that my wife's father grew up during World War II. And so when she talked about hunger, he knew hunger. They all knew hunger. They were living off of, little handfuls of bread. Every day was their thing, bread and water. That's it, baby. That's all you got. Everything else was to the war effort. And if you stole bread, you were executed or sent to the gulag. That's how important bread was. And she talked about her grandmother. She said, "Grandma, why is bread so important? You treat it like it's gold." And she said, "Bread is life. Bread is life. This is what kept us alive during the war." And then she said, "But then why did you give bread to the Germans, the German prisoners of war?" And she said, "Because we pitied them, but not the pity of what we have towards a sick dog or something like that. The pity of a human filled with compassion. The pity that says, I want to help you. I want you to live. I love you." That's the Russian soul. That's the Russian soul. Could you imagine Americans doing that? Could you imagine how we would treat people who came into our country and burned our villages down, stuffed it full of the women and children before they set them on fire, slaughtered people? Could you imagine? I mean, look, you probably can't imagine because probably every day you're filled with the need to have compassion to people like me, who don't understand, but so yeah, you guys probably understand it better than most. The need to have compassion against people that deserve your hate, but the Russians have compassion. They have forgiveness. They are literally, you know, I don't want to bring religion because that'd be hypocritical. I'm not very religious, but they are, I would imagine that if Jesus had a message, it would be to forgive. I think that was his message: to forgive, to love. Love thy neighbor as thyself and show thy neighbor peace. That's the Russian motto, baby. That's what they do. And you would go over there and you would just be, holy beep, these guys are awesome. Now, how do we do that? How do we bridge that gap? Because today this country is gripped with Russophobia. We are trained from the very moment we wake up till the very moment we go to bed to hate the Russian people, to hate the Russian government, to fear them. And why do we fear them? Fear is derived from ignorance because we don't know them, we don't understand them. We have to take the time to get to know these people, and we have to give them the opportunity to know us. Because, frankly speaking, we better pray that they pity us. And I don't mean the pity of a superior to an inferior, but they pity us as human beings who are deserving of compassion, warmth, and humanity, so that they will work with us to make a better world once this is all done. Because, my God, what we have done to these people, what we have done to them, we just go back to those casualty figures. There are Russian mothers, there are Russian wives, there are Russian daughters that are losing their men every single day in numbers we can't even begin to imagine. We had better beg their forgiveness, beg their humanity, beg their compassion, and pray that they're not like we are. Because if we win this war, I can guarantee you we would not be reaching out a helping hand to the Russians to help pick